face off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. 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 Talk your face off.
Hey, what is going on, you guys? We're going to talk your face off in this episode that is going to not be with Pablo. He's away on a vacation for his Thanksgiving with his family, and so I completely do not understand. It's just I feel like I was deserted on an island, and we're just going to have to see what happens because things could get very, very difficult here being alone. We're going to today go over a few things. We have a couple more of the top 10s coming up for like crawlers and a few other things that we think would be awesome for our SeaWorld or gift ideas for Christmas or things that we would want. Last week we did like the top 10 mainly bashers under 350. Before that, it was over 350. And today we're going to talk because we didn't want to do crawlers without Pablo here. He's really more of the crawler guy. We decided that today was going to be a fishing episode. And so I'm going to just step outside and fish, see if I can catch any catfish. And then I'll come back in and see what you guys have been doing the whole time. And then we'll wrap it up. And should be pretty fantastic. So actually, we're going to be talking about like tech tools, mainly for YouTube. There's a couple that kind of divvy just go or other tools just in general that are good, but kind of YouTube or just recording videos of your stuff is kind of something that a lot of you guys do. And so we thought we'd share some of the things that we like. Now 10 is tough, like to choose. So interestingly, Pablo and there's a couple of things that are similar, but they're still different. And so we'll go over those. I was all myself and no one's looking. I know that David Ferris, Blink 182, right? Go Man Go has an awesome new build. Speaking of builds, I'll wait for Harley to get in here because I do want to talk about his 124 scale build. He talked a lot of smack in here, and so I think he should have to eat a little crow in the chat. Oh, it was Green Day. That was it. You're right. Man, there's really good pop punk back in the day. That was Green Day Dookie album. You're right. I was thinking it was on the one of the early Blink-182s, but you're right. Travis, what's up? Oh, man, my comment was deleted. I didn't delete any comments. It might have just gotten blocked by the nefarious YouTube algorithms. I know what he said, Matt. It was fantastic. And he said that he would he was only going to take back half of what he said, which I think is like technically like 100% good, right? Because he's not going to take back all the good stuff he said about 10th scale, which was more than half of what he said about it, was him talking about how awesome 10 scale is. So all he really has to take back is the 50% of crap he said about 24 scale. So I think we get a complete win on that. And so, just kind of pats on our back, all of us mini people. So yeah, it was pretty fantastic to watch him say that at the very end. I put it on repeat. I repeated that. You can go skip back like 10 seconds on YouTube, and I hit that little sending it back like 30 seconds because there was like a prime spot where he kind of walked it back, and it was fantastic to hear that he enjoyed it. But he also just talked about just the group of people, and that's half of the fun of it, right? It's like 90% of the enjoyment of going and crawling for me and doing the mini comps is hanging out with the people. So sometimes I'm just like, oh, I gotta crawl, like whatever, like I'm just hanging out and talking smack with everybody. And yeah, I'm kind of stalling for a half a second because Apple did this very fantastic thing for being such geniuses in design. You have to plug your mouse in from the bottom to charge it, and it was completely dead when I just came down here. So I'm kind of like, there's a lot of links to click on. So I'm kind of stalling for half a second. But no, his video was good. He also, I just wanted to probably clear up what he didn't get right on he got it partially right as well, 50% right, I would say, on his thing about the Astro van, the 1985 era that J Concepts had leaked. And he says, he actually was loving that it was going to be, potentially some people do crawlers with, but he realized now after like the Lloyd body that maybe this is actually for monster truck people, and the monster truck people know, so just might as well. J Concepts is smart to sell it as a crawler body, knowing that the monster truck guys are just going to grab it and use it for the builds that they want. We've been doing it for years, and so we'll just take any body that looks like something, whether it's a Parma or J Speed or whatever the speed guys are that do some of the like Corvettes and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's totally a boogie van. Yes, Axial 32 boogie van all day long. Probably because of the passing of Marlon Cox, I think probably inspired that a little bit for them, is my guess. He was pretty big in the industry for the RC monster trucks, well known. And, a lot of us were very heartbroken when he passed away earlier this year. So he was a big van guy, which he and I used to joke about because Rolling Thunder, Boogie Van. My dad was always a van guy. So that's all I ever knew him to have. That's all he ever owned from me being a kid was a van. So we always had vans. And so, yeah, we joked about it. And yeah, so totally a Boogie Van. And whatever. I don't know what Paul Peters is saying. It kind of makes me think of Elf, but I don't know. I don't know if Josh will be joining us. I hear he's visiting family for Turkey Day. Oh, okay. Well, that's a bummer. So let's just talk about it. He did a custom build. Well, let's get to our things. We'll still talk about it at the end. I have Pablo's list of items too, so I'll talk about his, and I will criticize him, I think, for all of them just because I can, and he's not here to defend himself. So you guys can stick up for him in the chat. This will be fun. All right. Let's get to these things. I wonder if this mouse has got enough juice to just work for a hot minute. Oh, it's connected. Hallelujah. All right. This is going to make things easier. Also, since I have to pull up a little tab or a thumbnail anyway, we should pull up something here for you guys to check out. So I'm going to share my screen. But there will be some SCX24 talk later on. Good stuff. I've been, there's a busy day for me today. Drove all over Grand Rapids, Granville area for work. Came home and then drove to Lansing and back. And so I'm just getting in about an hour ago, and now we're doing this. So it's been a crazy day of driving. David Ferris gets the win right away. What's up, Michael from Michigan? It's getting chilly here. There is Black Friday sale going on over at ccxrc.com. Things are like 20 to 25% off on things, depending on what they are, different pricing. Some of them less. The FureTech stuff is a little less. They're $10 off, but they've been that way for a little bit. But like tools are $5 off. The $3 off of 10, that's like 30%. That's easy math. $8 off of 40. That's pretty good. And then we got the Mighty Eagles. These were just, make them $5 off. So 25% off basically on the pine trees and the saplings. and other things, baby Goliath, honey badgers, that kind of stuff that I can easily regulate on. So, yeah, it should fit a smasher. Yes, I have a smasher right here. I have smasher axles right here. And there's no backing plate on it. Well, no, there's a. The links do have a pretty steep riser. You'd have to just kind of kick them at a little angle on top of the link riser, which is what we do for a lot of these anyway. Just because the way that they built the link on this. Well, yeah, just kick up a little bit. So you just put it on a little angle. It's worth the power increase to do little things like that. We've been doing it since the STX24s came out. People put them on. So, you know, if you're going to run anything, whether it's like, you know, NSDRC or Reefs or whatever, because of the length of them, you just have to kind of cheat it a little bit. Still just put the screws in just till it snugs in. You'll be good. Just having that little angle on the horn, not a big deal. Just might have to go on a lower hole on it. But yeah. All right. The mighty handy tool is mighty handy. All right. So let's start with one of Pablo's. And then I will try to go with things that I have that are similar to his. Because I just will. I think it's easier. So Pablo has on here, his first thing is going to be he's just, it's a Christmas present, so I don't understand a little bit of his choice here. So I'm going to go ahead and criticize him on that. But he chose these Ulanzi AM18 wireless lavs. So, I mean, it's a 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection. You get two microphones for that. $80, not a bad deal for a wireless lav that you can use with your phone. I'll put the links in the chat here as well if people want to look at it in more detail. Professional. It's got USB-C for charging, and it also has a little mic plug-in spot there on the top, so you can plug in a lav mic if you want, or it's just got, you can just clip it to your shirt, and it's got a little wind muff on it that you can use to do, you know, a little dead cat kind of thing on the top of the mics like these. A lot of people like these Holy Land ones. Is another one that's pretty popular. He chose these. I'm gonna guess that he's researched it, seen some of the tech, but you can see they plug into your camera. It's nice that they copied Rode, and Rode had a really great idea, which was to make the base of it so that it would be the size of the top of the camera, like a cold shoe, so that you could just use that little clip that you can use for your pocket or whatever and do it. What I've seen a lot of people actually do with these is, and I've seen it a lot on YouTube recently, is just put them on their hats like this. And so they're just recording. I think there's some new like bodybuilder guy. I don't know his name, but he's like breaking YouTube right now because he just has amassed millions of subscribers in like a very short period of time, just vlogging himself going to the gym and stuff, and like massive dude. But anyway, this just miking it like this, just rolling with it, rocking and rolling. So yeah. This was one of his. What kinds of things in tech do you guys use for YouTube or think that would be important? I'm kind of curious for this one before I get through things. But yeah, so he's got this on here. It says CD audio quality. It's got touch screen on it, which I think it says makes it easy to use. It seems like it'd be difficult. I like tactile buttons on little things like this, especially where, you know, something might accidentally bump it. I'd like it to be a little bit more, but yeah, you get cables, whatever, to iPhones and run it that way. I had something similar. In fact, I just showed it to you guys, and I actually use these all the time, and I use them for professional things as well. And I use the Rode version, and I did the one with the mic pack already in it, so mine's $200 more than Pablo's, but it's a Christmas wish list item. I mean, it's game changing. So there's a couple things about these, and I didn't see if the Ulanzi did it or not. This microphone itself is also a wireless recorder. So when you turn these on, it's actually recording audio to the pack as well. So if for whatever reason it doesn't record to your phone or wherever you're recording it, you have a safety audio in here. You plug it into your computer, download it, marry it up, do all the editing stuff. Kind of a pain in the butt, but you can do it. But it comes with this microphone here that I've got. And again, I've used these for years. I have 4 of them for professional work that I do. They're hit or miss for professional work. If you get too far away, if it's behind somebody, not line of sight as well. But for doing YouTube, doing whatever, and now that they've actually got this, you don't even have to worry about line of sight, because if it does break up from the camera, you've got the audio recorded to here. And it doesn't break up when it does that. Like the interference of the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth does not happen to the live straight in recording. And so you run into that, you can always just bring the audio in and replace the part that's bad. But these little microphones here let you clip it on, hide the mic somewhere else, and not have a big bulky microphone either clipped to your chest, your shirt, or looking like a doofus hanging from your hat. Not saying that one really big dude that could beat me up 100 times over is a doofus, but it's not my favorite look. So yeah, straight caps for life, baby. You're right, Michael. But yeah, this does not have touch screen on the receiver side of it, which is here. And it actually is connected. So I actually, in my links, will have a link to this cable, a little longer version, because this is actually way too short. And actually, this is another thing on my list, so I'll switch to this next, is this Ulanzi monopod that can be either short and hold it in film, or you can go, to ground, or you can set it up as a tripod. But the cool thing this has is it has these cold shoe things, which, as I was mentioning before, you can clip on like mics to, or whatever. Like if you're standing close and you just wanted to mic it here and do like behind the camera stuff and just talking, the microphone's right there in front of you, you could do that and plug this in. I would, especially if I'm off camera, I would do the quick thing and just clip this onto my shirt, put on a little dead cat windscreen, be good to go. But these Ulanzi ones, in fact, this top here has this little shoe, which is holding the receiver pack, and it has 2 buttons that you use to do the settings on it. Not a lot of settings. Don't want a lot of settings. It's mainly whether it's stereo or mono, because mine has 2 mics, not like the one I showed. For my work, so I only use 1 for YouTube for the most part, but for work stuff, I use 2 for interviews if I have 2 people. And you can split the left and right for each one, so you have individual control of them later in editing. Or you can have it mono, where they're both just in both channels, and you got to hope that one, levels are good and all that, and that they're not talking over each other and things. Anyway, so this is the selfie stick, but on top of it is another cold shoe, which is very important if you're going to use microphones like this, because you need a spot to put the microphone, and then the audio from it, I just get native into my camera, which is my phone, like this, and this cable plugs in like that, and that is now giving me audio from this into here, really crisp, really clean. If you watch the recent skate park video, I use this, and also the King of RC one with my son, same setup. He was holding the camera, whatever. I was wearing this mic away from him, and it was plugged into here, giving it decent audio when I'm far away from the camera. And so that's when you notice, if you're just behind the camera all the time, you can probably just use the camera microphone It's not bad. Your iPhone microphones are pretty decent, but when you're further away and doing stuff, it's just cleaner. Wind less likely to get wind noise and things. So that is one of mine, is the Rode, and I'm just matching his. And because I just mentioned this Ulanzi selfie stick, it actually comes with, here, we'll pull it up on Amazon so you guys can see it on there. We'll look at the price of it because it's not bad. On sale right now for $19.16. You can see you could put a phone, a different microphone on there on that side thing if you wanted. You could put a light on it, or if you put the light on the top of the camera, you could put your microphone down on the bottom as seen. So as you can see, I've purchased this 3 times. I don't know where one of them is, but here's the other one. Notice this one doesn't say Ulanzi on it, though. Notice it doesn't have I apparently switched out the top at one point to a different one so I could put a mic on it. And I think it's actually on the one that I use. That's a bendable tripod, which isn't here, that I use over on the desk over there. But yeah, big fan of this setup right here. Nice, tucks away. You can use it for doing stuff on your desk. Just set it up, have the camera look down, and just get like shots of building, whatever, and time lapse it on your phone. The phone really makes quick work of a ton of stuff. Hey, Dirk, what's going on? It is a back scratcher in a tight pinch. Works good for that. In fact, if they had an attachment that screwed onto the 1/4 inch, it would be a real winner. So yeah, all of these links will be available after, or I guess I can post the links here. So this is going to be the pod. What is it called? The selfie stick. And then the cable that I use is here. Again, I just like the Rode. I've used it. DJI makes one that's pretty good as well. So I will say that. Now, I will say that Pablo also had a mini tripod, but he had a bunch of things. So we'll go over a couple things on his list because of that. So he wanted this Arnock metal phone holder. You have to screw it, it looks like, or there's some kind of locking and unlocking to get it in and out and whatever. These ones just pull. They're just spring held really tight. And they're just a quick on and off of your phone, which I like because I'm usually wanting to grab it out really quick to do stuff. I have a few that do this tightening down. Don't love it, but they're definitely more durable, and this one may be better. And it may twist. Maybe that's what it does too. It pivots on that arm, which that's a pretty good feature. But it does have the mic thing on the top, which is a big deal. So it does have that. I need to somehow put an X or something next to the ones I've done of his, because I grabbed the wrong one. What I meant to put was, here it is. He did go a little bit high with this one. $32 for this selfie tripod stick, and it doesn't have any of the top parts, which is why he put the other one on. But he kind of made it into a multi-purchase kind of thing in order to do this. So he also has, and he's got these ball swivels, basically by Cambate, which I don't think he needs on this. Actually, that goes for something else. So he's building some stuff with his list. So I'll wait a second. PSFRC, I never shoot in HDR. Not worth it. Yeah, your computer hates it unless, and the editing software really has to be able to handle it, or you've got to color correct the snot out of it. Yeah, I don't shoot in HDR mode. Too much of a pain on the editing side. In fact, I do it the most compatible, the most compatible mode, because some of the other stuff that it does also the computers hate and won't export, and it won't actually. Yeah, you get a whole bunch of issues with exporting, and so yeah, the most compatible one, which is just like a QuickTime file, is the one that I do. So, got to go into the settings and make it choose that, because there's all kinds of forums about. They're basically trying to do a highly compressed version that's very good quality looking on your phone and other places, but it's just the computers hate it. So they'd rather have the data to work with than all the compression. So yeah. All right. So that was the selfie stick. I'm going to save his other part that could go with this. I really think that the other part that he had there, the metal tripod mount, it does have a rotatable cold shoe thing on it. I think that it, with this and the swivel ball already installed on this thing here, what he has for a swivel ball is used for something else later. That's a kind of a good thing to have. And so I can tell what he's building kits for here, and it's pretty cool. So yeah. All right, so I'm going to move on. I got to X some of mine because I have some that are software things too. And I'm going to go with a bigger one. And it's two things. So some of these are just going to kind of, we're going to knock them out in twos because of them working together. No, I won't. Let me do this one next. Rodecaster Duo. And I would choose this one now over the one that I got. It's smaller footprint on your desk. It's cheaper. It's like $200 cheaper, or $100 cheaper now at the time. $200 cheaper. I have the first gen of this, the bigger Rodecaster like this, that I use for podcasts and different things. Works fantastic. Absolutely love it. Quality equipment. And at the $5.99 price, it's a really, really good deal. You get, the 4 headphone outputs. You get a dedicated record button right there to hit. You can have the USB in from your computer to record that audio. If you have stuff coming in through your computer, you've got a phone for call-ins. Really cool stuff. And then you got the pads on the side. They've updated that, and so it's changed the look a little bit. So you can see it here. Still the 4 things, but you've got a different record setting up here in the top left, little button for recording. And then they got rid of, they kind of hid the phone recording that. You can use it for anything really. So you have 4 actual inputs there, and then you've got the other. But yeah. Anyway, I like the idea of the smaller one for doing just like streaming and all that. So a lot of mine actually have to deal with streaming. And so you get all that I need is a couple inputs on the back, and that's all that this has. But you get really stunning sound. You still get the ability to plug your phone in if you want to do call in stuff. And really, I only ever have one microphone plugged into mine unless I'm traveling and take it and do like a podcast with it, and then I'll do a couple. But it was way more than I needed, but there wasn't this out when I when I bought it. So still a big screen on it. 2 headphone things. So you got your headphones, you got your pad one is the one on the right. So each of those pads and the audio of that. I like what they did in putting the toggle switches on the bottom here to be able to toggle through different layers of those sound effects you can put into those buttons. And then you got the audio that runs for that. It's probably you can see it is the red one, the far right fader. The one next to that is like your Bluetooth fader for your phone, and then you got 2 microphone inputs. All it needs for doing most things, and so it would be perfect and nice and small here on my desk. I would actually love it. I'm actually not running that here. I'm running like a little Zoom one here that's a 4 one because this wasn't out. So over in my other studio, I have the bigger one. I would love to get one of those. HDR has been a very time-consuming mistake so far. Yeah. So if you try to put HDR footage into like a regular timeline, you literally have to pull the highlights all the way down. Very problematic. Very, very problematic. Let me jump to one of Pablo's here. Rodecaster Duo. Again, I'll have links for these in the description, and they're affiliate links. So if you like the stuff and you want to get any of it, at the end, I'll have links for them available there. I think it'll be easier than doing it in the chat. Unless there's something that you guys want to really look at in the chat, let me know, and I'll go back and post the link to it in the chat. So he wants this internal frame hiking backpack, probably for carrying all of his stuff that he needs, like his cool sunglasses. Hydration in it, pack his camera and gear into it. Oh, I do like the waist belt for the phone. Really small, lightweight, good way to go. And what is that? $55? That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, so my other one goes with my last one, and it's actually what I'm speaking into right at this moment. It is the Shure MV7. Now, honestly, I like the Shure SM7B. That's what's in my other studio. Looks like this, but you can see the price difference, and it actually has this cloud lift on it over there, so you can see the price there for that because these have such a low input volume. These actually work really good. The Rode Pod mics, I have some of those, but they just came out with a new one that's so you don't have to have this cloud lift. It's for podcasters. It's like the 7B boosted or something, or it's the 7DB. So it's more money, but it has a preamp built into it already. So it's less than buying the cloud lift and the mic, but it's like just getting this SM7B, but it has a built-in preamp. So without it, having to buy a cloud lift with it. Anyway, that's another option. However, the option that I'm talking into right now sounds pretty close. It's also the nice thing about this, don't want to get a Rode thing, you can just plug into USB on the bottom of this and plug it directly into your computer and still have awesome audio, and just control the mic that way. And then you've got a little volume thing here for adjusting the volume. Plug headphones into it, listen to yourself right from this mic. But it does have XLR input, so if you want to use it for actual podcasting or recording or doing other things. In fact, I recorded a song the other day, and I took it over to my my mixer over there, and I plugged in, and when I was recording and did vocals with this into my workstation over there, brought all of that back over, and then edited in audio software and did the final mixing on that because it records multi-channels. But it's XLR, so I could just plug right into the straight up mixer. It's not all digital and USB. So it's a really good mic and a good option for live streaming and podcasting. or both. So actually I can show it on the bottom here. So it has USB. I don't know why it's still using that way outdated USB tech, that micro USB garbage. But once it's in, it's fine. You can see I'm running it off of the XLR, straight up normal into a recorder. I had a USB wrapped around this as well that was ready to plug in if I needed it, but it's not at the moment for some reason. But if it's USB, you can do the headphone and all that. Really cool. It's still expensive, $249. You have to really love what you're doing or wanting to take things to the next level if you're going with some of these items. Just going to call it. But if you're wanting to take your YouTube stuff or podcasting or whatever to another level, like this is a step up above those, like the Yeti microphones by Blue and other things with these condenser mics like this. Because if I'm just talking just even off of it, it's not picking up. So my kids are playing video games, whatever over there. All you're going to really be hearing is what's coming straight into this microphone. It just really cuts out background noise like crazy. Air conditioners, other, running sounds in here, sump pumps that kick on here in the basement, all of that kind of stuff, which is why it was something that I kind of had to get at the last house. I'd be doing podcasts and they'd kick on the washer and dryer and it'd be so loud. Like I had to just quit midstream. So I can't stop once I'm going. It stings. All right. Anyway, one of my favorites techs for the podcast stuff, the Shure mics, the Rodecaster platform, whichever Rodecaster you get, if you get it. They actually even have the Rodecaster X, which I should just kind of point out. Which is even smaller. Where is it at? No, it's the Rode Stream. What is it? Here, Rode X Streamer. Wow. And it's like a single microphone input and a video input. So you can actually bring like an HDMI camera into it if you want to do like a really nice, real camera into it as your webcam. You use one of these. You still get two of the little things, little volume knob for your headphone and for your microphone. Super simple. But having the streaming, the HDMI input in it is huge. And so that's just, pretty slick. You can even do just like a gaming headset there if you had microphone and headphone audio you were trying to do through it. So this isn't on my list. That's a good question, Dr. Z. Motion Array is something that I use. So in here, there's all kinds of stuff for editing that are just free presets. So like, let's say Final Cut Pro. Let's go to templates here. So you can get all kinds of different presets for making your videos. Like if I wanted to do some kind of like a handcrafted holiday intro, you can use these. You download them, bring them into your software, replace their logos with yours. It's very easy, drag and drop system stuff in Final Cut. But that's how I did like my intro for While My Batteries Charge podcast intro video and, other things. I use it for my little pop-ups for my lower third graphics, but it also has a whole music tab of royalty-free music that I can use and just tons and tons. You can choose it by the type that you want. You can put in, beats per minute, all kinds of different filters. If you want to just be rock music. So this is like an all-in-one solution. And it's through Artlist, which I think at one point wasn't as good as Epidemic Sound as far as the selections. However, I find myself liking the music on here more now than Epidemic Sound. I also didn't like at the time the search features and all that. They've made it better. In fact, I thought that I had this, and I found some really good music for a recent video. And so I do actually have other tools like this that I'm using as part of my list. And actually, these are really good. So I used to subscribe to this and to Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound was cool because they did. So they start giving suggestions based on what you choose a lot and download a lot. And so you'll get like some rock ones, electronic rock, grunge, trap music, things that have definite beats that I like to use. And then there's gonna be more, ambient sounds. But then down here they've got playlists and all things. You can search by the type, all kinds of things. Really, really nice. And it yeah. I was trying to find the pricing, but I'm logged in, so it's not going to show me. But yeah, it works really good. Easy to download stuff. Like it for coming back to you later. You can see ones that you've downloaded already. So if you just went into like angry music and you're scrolling through it, you'd see the ones already are marked if you've downloaded it, stuff like that. So they mark it if it's got lyrics. Here it's got vocals. It's explicit vocals. And then the other ones are just without. And a lot of the songs, like Many Lies, has a version, and then one that's instrumental, things like that. Works really good. A lot more than just what YouTube has. And it was like $15 a month. So once you started making some money on YouTube, it's like worth getting and using some of that money coming in to have more options. That's how I got into it. I now, because I do video production on this, what was my like freelance stuff was a lot of what I was doing. Till I just, changed career paths completely in the last month and a half. Only a month. Anyway, I have the corporate version of it so that the stuff that I use, I can, USCE video, I can extend my license to them. If you only pay $15 or whatever months, they might have upped it to 17 now. I don't know. I don't know what the pricing is, but it used to be $15 a month if you wanted it on your YouTube. It gave your YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, your social media, basically platforms as usage. You couldn't use it for TV, other types of stuff. But if you paid into a much more expensive one, it gave you, and I usually paid yearly, it gives you a lot more options. And Artlist does the same thing. There's 2 options. But yeah, something to know. Hey, Matt, Troy, Dirk. But yeah, so that's a bonus. That wasn't on my list. It should have been. Because it's very, very good. All right, so here is something that Pablo suggests, and I think this is a very good suggestion for people. And I get a question about this stuff all the time. Pipe clamps make awesome remote control clamps. You can clamp it to your controller, mount your camera to it like this GoPro is mounted on this one, or monitor, or whatever you want to mount to it. There's an adapter. You get your phone on there, or you buy the metal one like Pablo had as an option, or Ulanzi or whatever. They'll sell this one that you can get for the top here. There's different types of pipe clamp ones, but $15. Here it is, the phone mount clip. So it'll have an arm. In fact, it looks like the Ulanzi one with the little cold shoe on the top of it for putting a microphone on the top. In fact, I see, yeah, Ulanzi. It's one of theirs. So yeah, it works great. You just clamp it onto your controller. I've showed videos of doing these for a while, and it works absolutely fantastic. And this is actually a very, very good thing from Pablo. I hate to say it because I was going to be critical of all of his items. All right. What next? Well, I guess the platform I'm using right now is a good one, and I pay for it. It's StreamYard. So it's not an Amazon link. But while they were in the middle of it, I guess I can't log out of it. So I can't really show it. But StreamYard is a platform that we use for doing the streaming. Makes it very easy to do. I highly, highly recommend it because of how easy it makes it. You can distribute to many channels at once. You know, we have one feed going right now, and there's some dirt on here or something. Let's just turn that. And it's going to Pablo's channel. It's going to my channel. It's going to my YouTube. And when you get into the back end of it, you have, you know, brand options you can do. And I guess I can see if I can freak the internet out and make it go into crazy mode here. Can I do this? Can I enter twice? Will it boot me? I think it's going to freak out if I do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I think it'll freak out. But so many tools in it. It records it natively. It'll actually record the different things if you want to pull them out separate. Very, very powerful online streaming platform. You used to use OBS to do a bunch of the cool stuff. And there's a lot you can do with OBS, which actually the stream box should have been something on the list. But pairing that up with OBS and having the little digital pad was fantastic. However, it required a lot more setup time, where this is, you know, I walked down here 2 minutes before I came on, had to plug my computer in, had to turn that on, realized my mouse was dead, and was, you know, logged into it and was on, hit go. All the stuff is stored. You know, I can go in and, you know, make banners that go in here, like little tickers that'll go across the screen. You know, we can put up the comments. There's all kinds of brand stuff you can do. Turning on and off overlays, the intro video that we do at the beginning, all kinds of stuff. And so the back end of it's really good. I know a lot of you guys use it, but it's just, you know, paying for it. So that was one of them. That was one of my lists. Back to Pablo. What one would it be? A good one. That's an expensive one. I think this one's new. Kind of a... No, that was not it. Okay, maybe he didn't have what I thought he had. Oh, wait, yeah, he did. Here it is. Ooh. It's not showing up. His link is bad. Here it is. So he put in a $10 item, which is just this little mini ball head. I should just send him some. I have, I think, lots of these laying around. So, and I don't know what, yeah. And I guess he's going to put it onto either the little mini tripod. That's probably what he's going to put it on for doing low ground shots using the nicer camera, the Panasonic, to get his shots when he's out walking. That's my guess, actually, now I think about it. So that was a small one, $10. So this is a kind of a big one on mine. And this is something that I use for work and for YouTube. In fact, in my studio, I have 2 of these permanently up. And I have 2 more that are down. They're not permanently. I can take them down quickly. They're on C-stands, whatever. They roll up real easy. But these are softbox lights, and they give beautiful, beautiful light. They're decent size, and yeah, they roll up real quick. You can assemble them and take them down super fast. They come with a little carry case, kind of chintzy, but it's got the soft box. You basically unroll the thing, spread this metal bracket that goes behind it, keeps it open, Velcro the soft box to it, and then put the white part of the soft box in. If you want the eggshell grid, you can do that. I don't usually do it except for interview stuff, super interview stuff, and I'm trying to really limit light spread. But yeah, see, there's lots of videos on them. It's all over YouTube. People using them. I've used them for years. They've been in the White House. They've been all over the world. They've done some really big shoots with really big people. Well, I mean, so we use this for interviews with President Trump at the White House using these lights. We did Mike Pence with these. We did Kushner. We did like lots of top level DC people. Yeah, we're with these. JB, the football guy, lit with these. I mean, tons of people that I've done video stuff with using these lights, and they would pay me to bring them in and use them. And they're super cheap, $260 right now for the light. Then you got to get a stand, whatever. But I think my case was more expensive that I carry them in. It's insane. Very awesome lights. They're bicolor. So you can go anywhere from 3000 Kelvin to 5600 Kelvin, if you know what that means. Basically orange to bluish color light. So warm to cooler. The sun is more cooler blue. Indoor, if you go into houses that have a lot of old style lights that are warmer, you dial it down towards 3200. That would have been like an old incandescent bulb. And then if you have sunlight coming in and that bulb, you're screwed. try to turn one off or switch the light bulbs in the house. All that kind of stuff we have to do for filming. But yeah, I see the talk about Harley and this 24 scale. It's something I'm going to be talking about. Super cool. He's getting into them. What's going on, cardboard crawlers? So yeah, so that's a really good thing for YouTube. Portable. You can operate it with batteries. I use Sony V mount batteries to power mine. All right, so this is actually a really good one. This is expensive for what it is because I have the old version. This is Pablo, and I haven't looked at this. Dang, damn it! Why aren't his links working? I'm gonna have to have a talk with that kid. Oh, probably because I'm putting him in the search. I'm dumb. There. So the new Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Combo. This is pretty cool. So it does come with a mic. So he wouldn't even need the mic he has on his list if he uses this mic. Bluetooth mic to use with this. It's got this extra stand. Probably is another battery for the bottom too that makes the handle longer. And probably increases battery and does all the Wi-Fi stuff and different things. The flip screen on it is so much cooler because the screens were so small before on them. It's 4K 120 frames per second. That's insane. So you can shoot really super nice slow motion 4K footage with it. The mic on this was garbage before, which is probably why they gave this external microphone. So if you just want the Osmo Pocket, it's $519. If you want, yeah, it is expansion power $588, and then this one has the microphone. So you're basically paying $110 for the mic. What if you just click this? What does it want to bundle it with? The one thing with these that people don't realize is you really should do, wide angle lens. You really want to get those like magnetic ND filters, because if you're going to shoot it at 120 frames per second, you really should be shooting to get slow motion. You really want to have good control over your shutter speed and making sure that it's the right frames per second and shutter speed combo. But it looks really slick, Pablo. That's a good choice. I have something that's a little more expensive in mind. I'll just jump to that I would get for a camera if I didn't use my phone. I still think the phone is the way to go right now for a lot of stuff. I did it again. Why do I keep putting it there? The Sony ZV-1. Old. They have a Mark II now. Mark II got rid of the image stabilizer in the lens. Bah. It's wide angle. Selfie yourself better with it. But I only selfie myself for a little bit at the intro. I don't mind it being a little closer. Camera conspiracy, them make jokes about how tight it is. Put it on one of these selfie sticks, get it away from you real easy. Keep that stabilizer. The stabilizer is so much better, because then when you're shooting other stuff and you're zooming in and whatever, trying to get the cars running and better looking. Yeah. They make a wind muff that goes on. There's a huge microphone on the top of this here, right up there. And there's a wind muff you can get for it. The screen flips all the way around, which is a big deal for recording yourself, which all these pictures are the same and ridiculous. Mic input. It's built for YouTubing, basically. It's a vlogging camera. One of the coolest things that it has is like product mode, where it knows that when you're going to put something up in front of it like this, it'll focus like instantly. And you pull back, it'll boom, focus back to you. None of my really expensive cameras do that. This would be an awesome product unboxing, showing off what you're working on. And when you hold it up, and you were always putting our hand behind it, like, here, look at this really little microphone here, or doing this kind of stuff behind it so it'll focus. These things just like psh, boom, Sony focus. It's no joke. So yeah, it's 648. That's probably because the Mark II came out. Gave them some things they wanted, but to do that wide angle, it didn't work with the stabilizer. Bummer. So this is another Pablo one. Charger. So he can use his batteries from his cars to charge his phone. Basically. That's what it looks like. Yeah. So you go from your little LiPo battery and you charge your phone from it. Super handy if you're out walking trails and you need to get a quick charge on your phone. So either you can record more with it, or you can pull up your maps or make a phone call if there's an emergency. So really cheap, but it's on his wish list. He thinks it's cool. All right. Let's jump back to one of mine. All right. So this one's a little hard to show. That's not it. That's not it at all. Winner me. This is going to be it. Right here. Luma Fusion Pro Video Editing and Effects for your iPad, or they make it for the iPhone too. Absolutely fantastic what you can do on these devices now. So this one, they're doing green screen chroma stuff in order to tweak this shot, but all being edited on a phone or an iPad. Here's what like a timeline look would Why won't it? Let's see. Oh, here's the iPhone version. So multiple layers, multiple audio layers you can do. You can see the different cuts, all the different angles they've got set in there for camera angles. They're synchronizing them. They're doing a switcher down here at the bottom where they can choose which one that they want to do. All that's way more advanced than I do with it. But just the editing platform is straight up like a computer editor. Now, in my opinion, it's slower to deal with it and looking through and finding stuff than just being on a big computer. But if all you've got is your phone, this right here is a game changer. Also, if you're doing like I don't know, say you're trying to do some reels or whatever, you can cut your footage that was tall and you can make it into upright video, which is what I did with all of this. This skate park stuff was not shot to be in upright, but we cropped it and you can actually track it in there and used all that footage. Kind of like what Big America does with his stuff too. He shoots it all wide and then he goes in and tracks the truck as it's doing all the cool tricks that he does. But yeah, there's a lot that you can do. So I basically use it just for the quick stuff like this. I know Pablo uses it for a lot more. I'm super good with Final Cut. So that's actually one of my other listed things is like just ponying up, and if you got a Mac, ponying up and just getting Final Cut Pro. I paid $300 for it. When did FCPX come out? 2011. So 12 years ago, I paid $300 for this software. I've gotten every upgrade free from it since then, that time. 12 years of using it professionally, making money off it for $300. I pay yearly to Adobe for Premiere, like $600 a year to have Photoshop and Premiere and After Effects. Every year I have to pay it just as a subscription. With this Apple software, one time. And it's the fastest editing software I've ever used to get through a project, especially for YouTube type stuff. You're not doing a whole lot of maybe color correcting, whatnot, just quick stuff. So fast. But the cost is in having a Mac. So you could get a much cheaper PC with the same power. But you can't get this software for it, and so you're stuck paying the yearly for the other stuff. So yeah, but I can knock out stuff so quick in it. So that was 2 for me, though. All right, here's one from Pablo. I see the question just popped up. I will take a look at it. Let me get this up here for Pablo's next one. This is the Pixel G1S video light. Pretty slick. Dim. It's got little knobs. You probably have to press in on them for them. They probably have a little lock on them. Pretty good. Yeah, looks pretty good. I like the little swing arm that it's got for it. Lots of extra little things to get it out there. Also run a microphone. However, I don't know where that microphone's pointing. That way. That wouldn't do any good. Those microphones are directional. It'd be recording audio of the wall or whatever's to his right. The good one. I actually have one similar, and I do the Falcon Eyes F7 and the F7 Mark II. And I actually have these, and I highly recommend them. And it's basically does the same stuff this does. So Pablo's is a good choice as well. So mine's a little more expensive. It's Falcon Eyes. Comes with a bunch of grids and things to put over it. This little arm on it. It's got a little honeycomb that goes on it. Lots of color choices. Carry case. In fact, I've got it right over here with the. It's just sitting on the shelf over there. I forgot. I have the other one in my backpack. It might be in this backpack. Just took it on a shoot. I just did. So you don't know that you've seen them. So these ones have the knobs in there on the side. I won't turn it on toward you. Actually, I will. But yeah, you can dial in the color so you can see where it's getting more orange and warm. That's going down to the 3000. As it gets more of the blue, it'll match what I actually use for lighting here and look more natural colored. So, but I've used it in shots before, just as like you can see it kind of just giving that little back kick right there. So you wouldn't know it's there. It's just off camera to give that little separation from behind. Give that little we call it like a cowboy kick. No, they use it for sports photos a lot. You see that really harsh, kind of bright coming in from behind. So we'll do that a lot from overhead or whatever. I'll throw it down on a floor and light something like that. Put it on flicker mode and make it look like there's a fire back there. Or, you can change. There's more than just. You can actually do like crazy colors. You don't even have to do. You can do hue and saturation with them, and just really go crazy with the colors. So they're pretty cool that way. And you can dial in like blues and purples and like pink. Go like full red. I should be flashing on my face because I need to see the color changing more. Ooh, that's getting creepy. It's like a bright yellow there. Just put in the background like that, kissing something, give another color. So yeah. We upload videos. What category do you use? Car, truck, entertainment? I think it's entertainment. I don't use lights for GoPros typically. So anyway, that's this light. Which one is that? And then the other one's more money. That's why I didn't put it up here. And the features aren't that much more. But this is like the 7.2 version. But their battery is built into them. You just plug them into USB-C and charge them. And it lasts a long time. And they just do cool stuff like this if you want to just kind of spice things up a little bit in your studio. We'll just leave that back there. So, but that's what we both had similar ones. I could speak more to mine than his because I have mine and have used it for a long time. There's also like police car, like red flashing lights, and we've used it for that, like outside of windows before. And yeah, do all kinds of stuff with them. Even for a little light, you can pull off a lot with them. So he wants this 2 terabyte portable hard drive. Good option. I do those kind of things. We've got tons of them. Doing video stuff, they're very important. Hard drives are. In fact, I just had to order a new one, new 5 terabyte, because my 2023 one, 5 terabytes, already filled up. Mainly because of USTE and a couple big events, lots of events actually. Axial Fest, the Gauntlet, all those chewed up a ton. What else did I have? I did 2 in a row. Falcon Eye softbox. Oh, this one. And this is on sale right now. I'll actually post this one. This is something that I will post into here. And then we'll talk about Harley Designs build. Last purchased November 21st, 2023. Doesn't say the time. Just ordered this again. I lost it. I had 2 of them. Don't know where it is. Super great, especially for the minis. Not super high powered, but also you can manually use it as it's showing or saying here. I got it in different colors. I just got the black one. These come with more than my original one did. I don't remember it coming with all this stuff. All I need is a screwdriver. I've got chargers. I've got all the other junk. I just need to put a team associated 0.050 end on that thing and use it for building minis, because they don't go very fast. You're less likely to strip things out, and they're slow and they're not very powerful. So I still try not to make it go until it actually makes connection. I try and hand tighten the end, but it's slow enough that I can kind of watch and back off it before I get into trouble. $15.99. Absolutely love it. It locks it on there too, so when it gets stuck on one of the bolt heads, you can just pull out and it won't actually pull the bit out. Love it. So good. So I had that, and then the other thing I have is TubeBuddy. If you guys ever use that, some of you guys may or may not be familiar with it. We'll see if it's logged in or not. So I use this. Saved $28.80 this year with our 40% off Black Friday. $6 a month. What? I might have to re-up. Yeah. So I use this in order to bulk edit things, to get suggestions for tags. So in the back end of it ties into YouTube, and it allows with Chrome, it gives these plugins that allows me to basically have all these tools available for one, looking at other people's. I guess I could probably pull up somebody else's YouTube. Whose YouTube should I go to? Maybe we go to Harley Designs and look at his build. No, videos. So, first of all, I just want to point out that he didn't just build himself a crawler that are in colors that I appreciate. Apparently, Nicole thinks it looks like a booger. I appreciate the color choice, but he built a freaking case for it to carry it, that it fits in with his radio. It's for this car. I don't think his radio box normally had this part in it for the car. Plus, he talked about how he uses the charger with this bigger like this is for him to take this car out to places. He customized the case for it. Pull and pluck foam on top of it. So he went from not liking the minis to, yeah, I mean, the case itself is, or not the case, the controller itself with the mini is just kind of laughable. But yeah, very, very expensive Futaba radio. But yeah, the whole case and everything for it. I think it's awesome. But yeah, did a crawler video. But look at these. These are TubeBuddy video lithics, right? So up here, if I hit show now, it's going to show me stats and stuff about his video. Actually, maybe we shouldn't do it to him. Maybe let me just pull somebody else up. Who would be good to pull up? He should have named it the rabbit hole. I like it, Jeff. Great. This is not scrolling super well. Sorry, I'm trying to go back to old comments here. Is it similar to VidIQ? Little bit. Mark Tree's going to sell it. I told him if he's going to sell it, I get first dibs. So I got him here. So just here to hear you say the part at 26:57 and 27:19. So you have to go and you click on those, and when you click on it, it'll take you to that part of the video. But it's when he's saying that he had fun using 24 scale, but then also that he has to take back some of what he said about it, 50%. But yeah, and I also mentioned about him making it in his colors. He said, "I like the regular show. I'll only take back half the things I said." So yeah. Yeah, he went nuts with it. So, but he talked about just kind of the hanging out was fun, and I agree. That's the best part. So why is TubeBuddy not loading for this? Does he have like a TubeBuddy hack on that doesn't let me see his? No talking loud. There. So it tells you the views, how many comments there are in the video, how many likes there are, the score for like their SEO, how many suggested videos shown in a video are his and not other people's videos, likes across like other social media, the channel views, that kind of stuff. What best practice things he did? Did he add any end screens? Did he, it's liked on Facebook? Yes. And then it shows all the tags. So what you could potentially, if you wanted to do, you just come in here and copy and make a list of tags if you wanted based off of his that you can pull up later. Yeah. So there's tools that are there, but then there's also you can do comparisons between channels, between videos, all kinds of little things. But yeah, but then on the inside of YouTube, when you're actually uploading videos, it gives you other things for suggestions and different things, and it just takes the time out because like sitting there and trying to think through tags and all that's just so time consuming and kind of a pain in the butt. And if you have a description that you've typed up forward in your title, it'll use those and the words that you use in it to suggest tags to use. And then you just go and sit there and click on the tags that you like that are suggesting. And there's even rankings on those tags of like searchability rankings and stuff like that. It's pretty powerful. So if you're really looking to utilize things like that to try to help grow your channel, I got into it early. I got into it a long time ago. I can't even think of when. But I've been using it forever. And it even did something where at the bottom of my videos, if I went to CCXRC maybe and pulled up one of my videos here, this will work. But down here, like some of this stuff, I was able to go and just swap out using that tool to like fix and change all of the old ones, like what it said in them. So yeah, anyway, took the Grom to the skate park. That was the other thing I was going to talk about was the Grom. Yeah, it's called TubeBuddy. I put a link in there above, I think. Is this the link? Yeah. That takes you there, and then you can tie it to your YouTube. But again, when I was first starting, I was making a little bit of money. I was just trying to put it all back in to try and grow it. So for the first while, I used the royalty-free music that YouTube offered, and it was enough. But then it started to be like, okay, I've used this song now a bunch of times. I feel like there's less. But now there's even more than when I'd started that it's even available to use. so you could probably even hang out longer. But I did TubeBuddy because it would help me with a lot of that analytics and some of the other tools, thumbnail makers and different things that has built in, that you can use to grab a still shot from the video and then add text and all that stuff right in YouTube. Than using their little thing, because it actually adds features in the back end of YouTube, which I can't show you guys. I don't want to, show all the back end of my YouTube, but yeah, just because I don't know what's back there or what it'll show. But yeah, so it's just different. Really, there's so many tools that you could use out there. A lot of it just comes down to dedication. And then sometimes it just people have it, like they just have something about the way that they do everything. They present themselves, they present the information, and their stuff just rises super fast because of that. Um, and so that just it happens. The shorts for a while also really just help channels blow up. So different things like that, even just where you invest your time. And it's never like growing my channel has never really been like my main goal for it. And so I wanted to make videos that I wanted to make, and I wasn't really trying to focus on making videos that I thought would make the channel grow, but I wouldn't enjoy doing. Um, and so even if it was products that like weren't my favorite, I still did the video how I wanted to do the video. But yeah, there's all different kinds of ways that you can just do stuff. People will subscribe to other people eating food, just staring at the computer, ASMRing them eating food. So, you know, but I don't want to just sit there and do that. Like, that doesn't interest me to make videos about that and upload it and find out something to say about that. Like, here's me eating Fruit Loops. Like, you know. So yeah. But again, cardboard crawlers, yeah, it definitely helped to have a background in production and editing. It did. It helped speed things up. It was also just a fun outlet for me, because the breaks of things are, no matter what you do, you know, you're doing it for somebody else, right? Even for YouTube, in a way, you're doing it for somebody else. Whether it's a company sending you something, and that they're doing it because, man, this is like free advertising. We used to pay thousands of dollars to get people to make videos and do content for us. Now they just can send somebody a car. No other information. It just shows up at your door. The zero time invested from them except to hit ship and print a label and somebody stick it on the box and send it to you. Um, you know, you're not working with people over, concepts and schemes and like all this development time into it. Just print the label, send it out the door, and get views and people talking about it. And it's cheap advertising is what it is. So in a way, you start to work for them a little bit, like, right, they're saying you've got deadlines, like, this is going to be a lot, we need these live by hand, or here's when our new car comes out, or we're trying to do this, or we'd love it if you did that. um it's mainly deadlines, like time wise, but so in a way, you still are working for somebody. But at the time I was making content, and it was formulaic to me. Like, everyone was like, this, I cut these together, they want them talking like this, and boom, out the door, next one. Like, where this was just fun. Like, I was going out and just jumping cars in slow motion and just basically music video style stuff, right? Throw music on, say something at the beginning, thrash the car for a long time, say something about how fun it was at the end, slow-mo, big air, hitting trees, going to the sky. Like, that was it. I wasn't even talking through it like I do now. So actually I was shooting a little bit more cinematic even at the time, but learned that didn't really pay off. Like, people didn't want it to be cinematic because, again, the companies do the cinematic stuff. It doesn't really show you how the cars perform, because you cut everything, like every corner you cut, every jump you cut, then to show a landing, but they're not the same takeoff and landing because you only have one camera. So it's really just a bunch of stuff cut together to look cool, but zero, once it takes off, you have no idea if it landed. So, changing it and following the cars and showing it that you just are continuous running, is actually more showing off what a car is capable of. And so it really comes down to what you're trying to do. Um, and people responded more to that when I started doing that and asked me to do more of that. Like, okay, that's cool, but we can't tell how it performs. It's like, got it. Just like we couldn't tell what size the U.T.B.M was because of the location they shot it. Like, came out right after the TRX 4M, which you could tell was small because they're driving over books and Legos and the locations that they chose. The UTB-18 was in the middle of the most beautiful place to run it, where you'd run 10 scale, and there was no reference points really for the scale of it. And so shooting in different ways that show all of that, I think it was just more of what I was getting from people, what they wanted, which also was just faster for me to do. So I was okay with it. So yeah. Cinematic-y, whatever. Thanks, Dirk. I'm not good with words. Thanks for making fun of me on the internet in front of everybody. All right, what are people saying here? I was talking for a long bit there. Stop scrolling. Cardboard Color's talking about his background photos. Cool. Vidivon's making ground parts? Dang. So I already bought the upgraded drive shafts because they have dog bones, or they have like CVDs and they're metal until they get to the hub, and then it's plastic. But they sell the metal ones. They're like $44 for all of them, front and rear, all metal. So I bought those, and then I bought another shock set for the broken one from the skate park, and then I spent about $100 on upgrades. They're right over there in that bin. I could grab them and look. Trying to think what it was. So it came with the metal CVDs and whatever, but then it also had metal hexes to put on. And then what else did I get? Oh, turnbuckles, steering turnbuckles, adjustable metal turnbuckles. Oh, I could show the Groms in the. I kind of like that green and purple look. I might have to do that from now on. This microphone keeps lifting up. I swear I keep adjusting it. Maybe I keep lifting it up. That's probably what's happening. Two completely different vehicles. Two completely different price points. Two completely ways to have awesome fun with mini scale. So width-wise, I mean, they're pretty spot on. Samesies. Let's say wheelbase here. Dang. Pretty close. LMT, I would say, gets... they're rolling so much. I think it gets a little bit. Like, not even a half an inch. But, again, the plastic outers on these, big deal. $45 upgrade to get that to be better. The turnbuckles, whatnot, This comes with stout metal craziness. The diff gears in this, I ordered the diff gears, the HD diff gears, because the internals aren't super great, I keep hearing. That's another $45. So you're looking at $90 upgrades from that 130 starting point. So 220. And then whatever other little things. I actually cracked the body on this already too. Not this one, the green one. But this has the metal chassis plate. There's just so much going on with this. The working lights, servo savers. I still think the value's here. So everybody that's kind of been hitting on it for the cost, when you start diving into these things, the ones that are cheaper, and seeing the upgrades that you're gonna want to make, this is gonna be a $200 truck by the time you get it like how you want it to be, in my opinion. It's tough as nails for A-arms, other things like that, but you're gonna want to get rid of the plastic drive parts, is my guess. So somebody was telling me the night that I was showing it to Jeff at Reaction, he's like, my son ran into a curb and just destroyed one of the CVDs, and I was like, man, I can't. I destroyed it at the skate park, and I didn't have any. But I know to let off the throttle, things like that. He hit a curb and probably just stayed on the throttle, but it just blew up one of the hubs in there. So I didn't know it was plastic like that because I saw the metal going out from this. I didn't know that the end parts were plastic. So that's a big deal for an upgrade. And it's $45, like I said. So this thing, we've just been thrashing. Not like we would this. I don't think I would skate park this. Some people will. I like it too much, and I don't want to have to buy a bunch of them because I've destroyed it so bad skate parking it. I'd rather keep it somewhat destroyed, but not like scraped up from cement, more just breaking from backflipping and whatnot in the dirt than all tore up and scraped up from the cement. So anyway, it's really, really stout, you guys. Really fun for freestyle, really fun for whatever. This is different. It's also this thing, the way that it bounces and slaps, and like you can't do like the trick stuff with this, like the backflip off of the same thing I was doing backflips off of with this in my side yard. I don't know if I posted the video yet of my boys and I racing these and then trying to freestyle. I don't think that made it into the video. But I tried to. Oh yeah, I did say watch this cool trick I was going to do as the king of RC, and I was going to backflip it. I couldn't get it to backflip like this. I could hit and make it pop and do a backflip, and this just wouldn't do it. So I'm sure you'll be able to backflip and do stuff, but it's just not the same as the fun scale driving that this does for areas like that. Skate parks, send in it full send. This one all day long, like just fun scale monster truck driving. This thing's wicked good. Racing, actually, racing with this was pretty fun too. So either one would be good for racing. So that video is coming as an actual video comparison here very soon. I'll probably have time to do it this Thanksgiving little break, but yeah. Yeah, $10 per wheel to replace the outers is something you can do, but it's still plastic. I believe. You're just getting plastic replacements. And then you're dealing with that little pin that holds the little wrap that holds the pins. But I think that the replacement, because I was looking at it and being like, why would I get this for, And then the guy was like, well, these ones are all metal. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that these were plastic. So anyway, yeah. One mini LMT or 2 grams. Well, I mean, two of anything is more fun. Like if you can have two of the same thing, because then you can race them and do more stuff with them. If you just have one, it depends. Like if you have somebody else to run it with, if you get two, I would say 2 grams. If there's two of you, and you buy one, and you just both have time playing with it, I would say the 2 Groms, like two of something to race, and like that's where the real fun happens, in my opinion. Now is more people. So yeah, that's why I bought 2 of these straight away. One I got so I can race with my boys, and that's what we did with the Yeti Juniors too. Like on their own, they're not fun to me. I don't just go out and drive the Yeti 20 or 18 scale Yetis, but you get me and my boys out there, each of us with one of those Yetis, and we make a little oval track with little jumps in it in the front yard, just using cones. And I made some wood ramps for us to hit and race. It's a blast because they're all the same motor. At that point, it's just driver skill, try not to get tangled up with the other driver, and it's just really fun. So I would just say, yeah, whenever you can have multiples of the same thing, basically same power, the fun you can have with them is super, super awesome. Plus, my Yetis were converted into Monster Jam Speedsters with the Max D Fire paint scheme, the Soldier Fortune ice theme, and then I have a Gravedigger themed one. From I sent pictures of those trucks or the side by sides from Monster Jam Speedsters to Dark Side Designs and sent him clear bodies, painted them up for me. They look wicked good. I need to get those out and run them again. I need new batteries for them is the problem. Oh yeah, $45 for metal replacements. That's everything. That's not just the ends. They're full. You're making me get the kit. All right, so here's what I got. Oh, Charlie Horse is what I got. Right here. Metal axle and hex set. So it's got the dog bone ones in the rear and then the CVD style ones for the front. And they were $39.99. And then because I heard about the diffs exploding, I just bought a whole diff for $11. I can just drop in if one of them blows up. But I've ordered. Did I order already? I plan to order the HD diffs that they're selling with the metal gears. But those are like $45 for both or something. Let's see. I'll pull it up on here. Hold on. Here's just a link to Horizon. If you guys use this to go there and get anything at any point, want to partake in any of the deals that they have for the holiday season, that does help me out as an affiliate link. So if you ever are in there, LMT Mini is a beast, says Black Market RC. He's got one right now. Vidavon makes hub carriers for the Grom. Awesome. Got 4 NSDRC RS 2500 V2 servos for my 2 MTs. Installing them now. What's your opinion on servos for large-scale monster trucks? Good servos are great for large-scale monster trucks. Even better are great servo savers to save your expensive servos. I run stock ones on some. I've got ProTech on others. On my LMTs, I have a couple with the Raw 500, and then the ones I bought from Freestyle RC have whatever servos they get on them. Isaac. I totally didn't make it to Cheech's event. I was so bummed. So bummed by that. This is awesome. These are the new ornaments. That's pretty cool. I'm probably gonna have to get one of those. On the flame buggy. I used to have that plane too. Oh my goodness. All right, I can't buy them all. They're not cheap. They're like $20 for an ornament. All right, so what's I gonna do? Grom. So there's the Grom. Here's all the parts they're showing for it. So that's what I just bought was a shock set. $10, not bad. $20 for a body, clear or painted, not bad. 4 aluminum shocks, gonna be $40. Here they are. Assembled oiled filled differential 32.8 mod. These are going to be their better geared ones. Tough internal gears for long-lasting durability. Yeah, so this is the upgrade version, and it's $40 for 2. That ain't too bad. But still, if you do... So was I saying? Well, no, just that. So 40 and 40, so $80. So you're looking about $210 for like a really beefed up truck. If you do these, $250 for the metal shocks. But I don't think the metal shocks are must have. That's kind of a nicety. Really not a bad price for $130 with a battery ready to go. In store only until January 1st. That's great. They got them the first stock of them for Christmas, all the dealers. That's fantastic. CCXR C5. Thanks, Crazy Quad Brothers. And if you're new in here too, man, it's just not scrolling. Why is it acting so funky? Yeah, please be 24. Please be 24 about the LMT. I don't think they could have done it 24. Same reason the TRX4M for the upgrades that they wanted to do, and they already had to take cheats with the differentials in the axles at 18th scale, which were kind of like, but it was kind of the breaks of getting it all to fit and still be durable. They couldn't do the full casing around the diff, so just a different type of a build. But for how much and how often I break my 24 scale monster trucks, I'm okay with these being a little bigger and being more durable. Just all the parts being a little bigger. All right. So what else was I going to say? Oh, at ccxrc.com, I mentioned earlier, there is a Black Friday sale button up here. I have a few things like $5 off on the saplings and the pine trees. Servos, Mighty Eagle, and Honey Badgers are on sale for about $3 to $4 off of each. Almost $5. Baby Goliath is $3 off. Mighty Handy Tools $5. These brass wheels are $8 off. So some of the stuff that I can do discounts, better discounts on, have some discounts. But yeah, and more coming. More coming for 2024. Just been busy. So, and in fact, the Mighty Eagles are almost sold out. So I need to check inventory on those and check to make sure that what's on my website reflects what I actually have in before I go in. So I'll be checking that tonight before I go to bed. So I don't wake up and like, a lot of apology emails to write. Because I was shocked at how low the box of them was for how many I had bought. But yeah. So that's just the thing. I put it up there a couple days ago and just forgot to announce it till today. But some people already had found it. I wasn't hiding it. Bye, old Tony. Zach will love it. Thanks, Troy. Bass Pro came out with a dope new fishing pole wall mount. Still, Foam's got to tell me about this. My fishing pole mount holds fishing poles, which is a Gravedigger Team Driver style shirt mount. Doubles as. Hey, Isaac, if you're still in here, how did you do and how was it? But yeah, it's going to be a busy month for me and everybody. I know it gets busy this time of year. So starting tomorrow, it's going to be nuts till the new year. And then hopefully the snow will slow things down a little bit here. Here's hoping. But I was going to try to keep this episode short, and I failed at that. I was going to try to go for an hour, and it's been an hour 45 because I kind of rambled on. I get into talking about some of that stuff, and I just love it. Production is in my background, and so a lot of these things, like I wanted to talk about more and do bigger stuff, but I was like, my actual camera choices would have been a lot higher. But I try to stay back with something that was like my lowest choice that I would want that isn't like a Sony A7S or something like that. And that's why we went with the ZV-1. Lighting's important. Like, got lighting here for this even. There's lighting mounts on clamps that go up from the behind the monitor and front light here, that kind of stuff. So sound's important. You don't want to have really crappy sound. All kinds of stuff that we take for granted when we watch stuff, but there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot that you can get that is just kind of a little help. So hopefully some of that's been helpful. I know a lot of it's over the top for what everybody needs. But you can see even just little details like throwing that green light back there on the floor. Things make a difference. And it's kind of cool to see what little things can do. But, you may not want to spend $100 to have a little difference there. I probably wouldn't either. I get, what is this one here? This is a 50-watt style light with a little remote control that does the purple in the background. It's just sitting on the desk, plugged into the wall. Much cheaper option than like these ones that are actually more video centric. That's to put on the outside of your house or whatever and just shine up on your wall. So, yeah. I hope you guys all have a happy Thanksgiving. Go Lions. Sorry, Wisconsin people and Green Bay fans, if you watch this. We're out for blood tomorrow. Just going to say it. So, Lions are coming after everybody this year. It's Michigan against the world when it comes to football. Lions, the Wolverines. Seems like everybody's out to get them in the media and whatever. So we're going to bring it. Yeah, poor Chiefs last night. What was that? Nobody could catch. Worst catching I've seen in a long time. Looked like watching a high school game. How many balls went through hands. We'll just end on that note, guys. Pablo's not here. I'm feeling pretty safe down below. And we'll catch you all later. Have a good one, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. See you next week. Maybe. I'll see you next week from a hotel or be driving. I'm actually going to Wisconsin next week. So I should be a little light on my judgment of Wisconsin right now. In case they're watching. But I should be back. I have a video shoot to go do in Wisconsin. So 2 days of driving for a 1-day shoot. Going to be awesome. Anyway, I should be back. Pablo and I'll be back. I'm just going to name and claim it, baby. And we'll catch you later. Happy Thanksgiving for the third time.